Well, hello to our friends, our family, anyone who watches this video, and to our Girls Weekend Buddies. I wanted to share with you today, well, you'll notice we're framed with flowers. It's Valerie's 80th birthday. Hence, she's wearing the crown. I think the crown may be taking root to her hair because she's had it on for like days.
3 days.
Yeah, and I hope she stops tomorrow. She's not the queen of the world, you know. Okay,
I'm working on it.
She was like the queen of the world for the past weekend because we had Girls Weekend, and we want to say, hey, Girls Weekend buddies, right?
It was a great weekend. We had a wonderful time.
It was. So, was there anything on the top of your head you wanted to talk about right before we, dive in?
Well, I know it's a little birthday thing, and it's kind of selfish on my part. But this morning I got a phone call early, and I was told that my 4th great-grandchild was being born in an hour or so, right here on my 80th birthday. What a treat! How many people get to say that? I think it was really so special. And I found out on my little phone just now that his name is Oliver Joseph Ledoux at 9:38, 8 pounds, 7 ounces. I'm a very proud great-grandma.
Very good, very good. I have to laugh because I'm sure they didn't know it. My great-grandcat, his name is Oliver. Nothing like a good
Happy birthday, Oliver.
Yeah, that's not his
in
birthday.
10 years or so, it'll mean something to you. Right now, it means something to me.
Right. Well, so, for our family, friends, and universe, this was just Girls Weekend, not just the Queen's birthday. And it's something we do every year where we invite women that we know, women that come to the campground. We've gotten a little circle, and sometimes it's a big circle, and sometimes it's a little circle.
Yeah.
But it's a good circle, and we get
special people.
Very special people. And we get together for the weekend and just have a whole lot of fun. Now, for those of you who were there, I want to tell you there will be links when I send this via email. There will be links to the different sites that we were talking about, like our Legacy of Love and Laughter videos, which of course you want to see. You can see them anytime you want. One of the things I wanted to start off with was this. That is our special agenda, our little schedule of events that we have over the weekend. Some of you, even people who are here, did not realize that was made by Valerie. I don't know if it looks backward to you or not, but oh well, if it does, it's backwards. So if you took your little schedule home, you have a work of art, an original.
It's my mini little contribution to Girls Weekend. Somebody else is all planning of the program and how it's going to get laid out, and the newsletters and the warnings and the things you should bring. This is what I do. That's about it.
I do the inside. We do the planning together.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So, what I want to tell you, oh gosh, I forgot what it was. It kind of evaporates. No, I guess I wanted to explain a little bit more. Back in the day, when we were young moms, women and wives before we were young moms, we did what was called coffee klatch. You'd have your girlfriend over, you'd sit around and visit, chit-chat, and, and can you think of other ways that the girls got together back in our day?
Yeah, if they had, Tupperware Parties is a good one, definitely. And what is it, the clothing one that we used to go to?
Dutch Maid.
Oh, yeah, good old Dutch Maid. But Tupperware was the key. And Stanley Home Products, and a friend of ours was the woman who sold the Stanley products. Good old Shirley Dale. Boy, you couldn't beat her. She had the best games in town. People win little silly prizes, and it was a fun evening for the women and pretty safe. But you could have 8 or 10 women there, and you'd have a really good time.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about buying stuff. It was about being together and playing games. And, it's stuff that over the years has kind of disappeared because people are working, they get home and they're tired, and and we missed that girl connection. So we wanted to, to bring it back. And so far, once a year is great, and we thought, maybe we would do it a little bit more sometime.
Even mini, a little bit less.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, wait.
Planning.
What I'm thinking about is, do you remember when we did the Gather the Women?
Oh, yeah.
What did you like about that?
Getting together with them, and everybody had great creative ideas. Everybody appreciated everybody else's stuff. You had a chance to kind of brag on a little bit about stuff that you knew and you saw and you heard of and you could do and share. It was great. It was just great. Yeah. And everybody brought good food.
I knew that was going to come.
It does every time.
That Goody Show, well, let me tell you something. This weekend we had so many goodies and so much good stuff that I felt like I had sludge in my veins by the end of the weekend. It was like, oh my God, I can't move. But it was.
Well, we were looking for the leftovers this morning, so don't feel bad. Okay.
That's true. That's true. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We have some pictures which we will be very excited about sending, and the food was so good.
It was great,
and it was so abundant. And
we never could have got a caterer to do the variety and the heart that went into everything. It was so great. Not much leftovers left either.
Well, there was a few, but and I wanted to talk about the leftovers. But before I did that, I want to talk about the our time, our schedule, our theme for this weekend was called "It's About Time." And it was about our time and how we use our time in the past and the present and the future. I hope to have a great picture of me as an alien, which I just put up there. And we did take a picture of that. But it was abundant, and there was so much food that some people might feel like, only a few of my things disappeared from my plate, from my offering here. And you got to know there's just so much you can eat. So if for the girls who were there, if your dish didn't get cleaned out, it's not about your dish. It's about how much we can possibly consume. And also, this was on my mind. I got to tell you, Sue, I was thinking about your soup because it looked so beautiful and delicious. But when you said it had chicken broth, I can't eat chicken. I'm a vegetarian. I don't do chicken. But that it was so beautiful, and I hope that I would have eaten that stuff if I could have. So don't feel bad if your whole dish doesn't get eaten. I'm not telling you to bring less, leftovers and stuff like that. And sometimes things can reappear in the afternoon.
I think one of the stars of the food show was the ham. I mean, Shelley brought ham. And I'm going to tell you something. It made everybody so happy, except for us vegetarians, of course. It didn't make us unhappy, but it was so nice. And they had it my husband had some for breakfast, and they had ham sandwiches for lunch. So the ham is going on. Not that there was a lot, there was so much in there. I don't care how much they ate. It was like the bottomless bowl. They just loved it. Everybody loved it.
And we tell people as you're leaving, hey, you want to take some ham, And it was funny because Sky said she wanted it. Sure, I'll take some ham. And she goes upstairs, and I'm upstairs doing things, and downstairs I ran down, and I was talking to Mandy upstairs, and I come back downstairs, and I look at their Sky just eating on that ham. So I called up, Mandy, you better grab some more of that ham because Sky's eating it all.
Good food, just good food.
And another one of our amazing. Everything was amazing, okay? Don't get me wrong. Everything was amazing. But another one of the particularly amazing things was Lorraine made cupcakes.
You should have taken a picture.
I did.
Oh.
I did. We'll get you the pictures. I don't have it to show right now because we wanted to get this done before we passed out.
Before my crown fell off my little head.
Right. Well, don't make me think silly thoughts. She made cupcakes with clock faces, okay? They were mini cupcakes, tiny cupcakes, because that was the good way. Because if it's tiny cupcakes, you can eat plenty of other stuff. If it's a big cupcake, how much room do you have? So she made these little clock faces on the cupcakes, which was amazing. And oh my God, the time it must have taken. But the real kicker was every single cupcake had a different time, intentionally. That blew my mind. I thought that was just
We
fabulous.
were all very impressed.
Fabulous.
And they tasted good on top of it.
And what they were supposed to do was make like well, that was a time theme, which was fantastic, and also to make comfort food I told them, I said, make food make food that your mom used to make that you really liked. And I had too many women say, my mom wasn't a very good cook. So we said, make it comfort food if your mom was not a particularly good cook. And but it was just, I made, which you will also see in the pictures when I send them. I will put a link to the pictures down below this, because that way I can do it on Facebook and on YouTube and send the newsletter and all that stuff. But I made alien loaded potato skins. They were quite interesting, with a little alien sitting on top. An edible alien. Yes, it was an edible alien.
It was delicious, too.
Yeah, it was. It tasted good, too.
So it's very hard to have your food look at you.
Well, that's why you're supposed to eat the olive first.
I did. I couldn't see
Eat
it.
that alien. Get it out of there. They were fun. But I want to talk to you a little bit about, we want to talk to you a little bit about our size mattering, okay? Because do you think we kind of made a mistake early on when we were concerned about...
How many people?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. No, I wasn't concerned. It's just that there were so many, well, some people who knew they wanted to come and they either got sick or had appointments, so you knew it was okay. But your regular group came and they called, and last minute some of them too. They all had such a great time. It was such a nice, intimate group. I mean, there were plenty. There were like 20 some odd people. That's plenty of people, especially when you're talking about girls who like to get together and visit with each other, and it worked out so nicely. It was a very nice, smaller party. It was great.
Okay, now it's time for the honest part, okay? Honestly, we were a little discouraged because we thought, not about us, because we knew some of the folks who were coming, and we love you and we love to see you every year. But it was like, we'd had a couple of really big ones, and we were thinking that maybe our attendees might think,
disappointed.
Yeah, and I'm just being honest.
I think the small group of people brought more food.
Yeah, they did. They brought enough for the whole other gang, even if nobody else brought food.
That's right.
But the thing is, we were told over and over how much they loved the ability to have more person-to-person contact. More intimate, more deeper conversations and stuff. So, this size, if we have a passel of people, it's fun. But I am confessing that when it was going to be really small, I was not concerned about my disappointment. I was concerned about maybe the others. Everyone that kept saying, oh no, man, I love this. And you want to know what? We did not get through Friday night, and they're starting to plan next year's. Oh, you know what we can do? I'm not going to tell you the theme yet. Shh. But those who were there, if you get ideas for themes, send them along. Now, there was something that we did that started off our night. You want to show everyone?
Which everyone? Okay.
We didn't have plenty of time.
Night. It might have been starting things off, but nobody had any idea what was going on. We had everybody paint their fingernails.
Jungle red.
Jungle red. Everybody had jungle red fingernails, and it tied into a movie we watched later on in the evening. Or what's the next day?
It was the next night.
It was the next night, yeah.
And the thing is, through the weekend, we had little messages about what this was all about, including, the movie was a part of it, and that was just so much fun.
Movie, but everybody kind of got a kick out of it.
The movie was called The Women. And if you haven't seen 1939 movie, I know it sounds like old and forever, but you know what? They made some pretty darn interesting stuff there. And there were some thoughts, even maybe a few trigger alerts in the movie, but it gave us great food for conversation. We had a critics circle after the movie where everyone got to talk how they felt about it. Jumping back for a minute to this, for those of you who attended, I don't know that you were aware that nail polish was yours to take home. Now, I know a lot of them whipped it off, but you would want, we hope that you would take that nail polish home, because when you felt like you wanted to be fierce, you could wear your jungle red, because it's really cool. Okay, so let's see. So there was that part, and it was bitter cold, so we didn't have our bonfire one night. Windy and cold. Yeah. The next night we had it. So we had a lot of flexibility, and that was another thing, kind of a message that we have to be flexible with our time. Now, another thing we had that was different is something Valerie and I wanted for years, and this year we actually had it.
Got it done.
And that was?
A very good friend of ours who studied this thing for 2 days, made for us, with a little bit of assistance, very little, but he made for us a beautiful labyrinth that we had out on the lawn. And everybody who tried it just loved it. It was a great idea. If the grass didn't grow so fast, it would probably be great for next year's. But we're going to have to get it so that it's quicker for us to do, so we can make another one for next year or the year after. It was a wonderful thing to have. And we thank Ralph a million times.
Thank you,
for
Ralph.
making our labyrinth for us. And Debbie and I assisted, so we did it.
We're looking to make a permanent one day, because we think
we'd
that
like
would
to do
that would be the goal. For those of you who don't know what a labyrinth is, it kind of looks like a maze, but it's not. It is actually a prayer process where you walk through these little paths, and it's actually only one way in, and you go out the same way. And on the way in, you try to release your troubles, your concerns, pettiness, all that stuff. And then in the center, you pray for a little bit, gratitude and guidance. And then when you pray out, you start to welcome your joy to come to you. So, and it was easier once they knew,
I think a lot of people had seen them before, but really they didn't know the process.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing.
So we gave them a brochure that told them all about the labyrinths and how to use them, and now they can go other places, and if they find a labyrinth, they'll know how to use it.
The process is the same no matter what labyrinth you use. So you can get bigger, fancier ones or smaller ones, but the process will be the same.
Yep. There was one thing I was concerned about. I didn't think about it till last night. You know how you do something and you're all happy about it and then these little thoughts start to get into your head like, wait a minute, could this be misunderstood? Because it's about the women, it's about being fierce and stuff like that. And I thought, oh my stars, do you think anyone that would hear about what we're doing, like when the women go home and tell their husbands and everything, would they think it was like male bashing? Because well, you think about it, because in the movie we're going, oh my God, I can't believe we got away with that.
Well, you have to be old enough to really appreciate the movie. Younger people were like moaning and laying on the floor practically. But when you're older and it was at a time period that you remember, that is how it was. And these women who they got it. They understood it, but they said, no, I'm not going to go back there again.
No, when you've lived through it, it's one thing. And that was in the days where, amongst other things, the wife's job was to, fetch your husband's pipe and slippers, and, he wore the crown.
So guess where we've gone since then?
I didn't get a crown for my birthday. I got a paper party hat.
Well, you got a few.
Oh, I'm not 80 yet. I forgot about that.
It was for my 80th birthday.
I forgot about
this all year,
That is true. But I wanted to say it wasn't about anti-male. It was about equality and pro-female and women claiming their power, and maybe someone else could fetch their pipe and slippers.
But it wasn't as dry as it sounded.
It
was a pretty interesting movie. They had a portion of it. The movie started out in black and white. They had a chunk in the center that was all color. It was like a fashion show. And then they went back to the black and white. So that was a new technique at that time. So you figure around 1939 or so, we've come a long way. By the time our grandchildren see any of that stuff, it's going to be ancient. I don't think they didn't see movies.
Well, I don't know, because don't things sometimes happen in cycles?
Cycles, that's true.
Oh, dear God, don't make us go back there. And dear Lord, if there is reincarnation, don't make me come back to that. I want to move
I still
forward.
want to be one of the women.
Fierce. Don't go red. Well, was there anything else you wanted to share?
I'm hoping that our grandchildren and everybody enjoys these videos. I truly hope that they hold up for however long the things change so rapidly, you know. And so I want to really especially wish my new great-grandbaby, Oliver, happy birthday. Whenever you watch this, it's happy birthday to you from your great-grandmother. Happy birthday, 80th birthday. So we don't even know you, and we love you already. So,
and from your great-great-aunt, welcome to planet Earth. Do you suppose that this can be beamed out to...
Probably send us out there.
They might be watching. They might be watching. But one last thing I wanted to share with our weekend attenders, that I'm kind of toying around in my head with the possibility of doing like monthly Gather the Women. What it is you get together, you have a topic for the night, you chit-chat, you laugh, you get silly, and of course there's goodies, and you take turns bringing goodies or whatever. You know, that was where, Chris made lavender pound cake, and it was the first time I had it, and it was amazing. So think about the possibility of Gather the Women down the road, and there is someone trying to get in the door, so I'm thinking we gotta say goodbye for now.
Did you open the door?
Goodbye, God bless you, and we hope you enjoy this, and we hope to see you again real soon.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sorry about that.
What are you guys doing?
We're doing a little family video. We've decided to do that for our